All right. Hey, everyone. Jenny Fennig here. Super excited to have you with me. We are going to have a fantastic training session today. This is all about helping new and aspiring coaches get out there and do the thing that you came here to do. So this particular training is focused on how to structure your coaching sessions and packages to get the results for your clients and grow your business. Congratulations for being here. Congratulations for signing up for this training series. I have a number of sessions that I've done already, and then after this one, I'll have one more next week. So you should have all that information in your email when you signed up. If you missed the live session, then we do offer a replay for you because we want you to get this info. You know, coaching is such an amazing field, and I'm super excited to be doing this with you. So listen, you should be seeing a chat feature underneath this video on the page where you are right now. And I'm just gonna mute that. Okay, so Darcy, who's on my team, she's in that chat right now. Her name is Your Savvy VA. And she's here ensuring that you all are good to go. She's giving you some instructions right now on making sure that you are actually seeing this video and hearing me. So if you're having any issues, just let her know. She's there to help. You should be good to go. Now, if you are here with me live, tell me who you are. Tell me who you are, where you're from. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your name. I want to just know where you're connecting in from. I like doing that. I like to imagine that we're in this virtual room together and we are, you know, powwowing so that you can grow and do what you were put on this planet to do. I mean, that's my mission in life. And I thank you for allowing me to live my mission by showing up, by being interested in what I teach. You know, we can't teach if we don't have students who are ready to learn about these juicy topics. So thank you again. All right, so again, if you need any help, Your Savvy VA, she's in the chat. She can help you when you come live. Just you should be able to type in there, let us know who you are, where you're from, and all that good stuff. All right, so I like to do a centering before we dive into the content. And the path of coaching is exciting, and it's also pretty, it can be pretty intense. And this is related to coaching and, you know, being a spirited leader, a spiritual leader, being an entrepreneur. Some of you here want to be entrepreneurs. Maybe you already are. Maybe you're still working in corporate and you want to make a shift. You know, everyone has a different situation. And I turn to mindfulness, my spiritual practice. I turn to yoga. I turn to, you know, being outside in nature, taking time for my life, you know, outside of the work. You know, the work gives me so much pleasure and so much juice, but I would never be able to do what I'm doing with you right now, and having been doing it since 2008 when I started as a coach, if I wasn't regularly tending to my inner garden, my inner landscape. Okay, so hey, Karen from Fairport, New York. Thanks for saying hi. Anyone else who wants to say hi, go ahead and do that. I'll give you a shout out. Okay, so this inner landscape, tending to that inner fire, knowing that you are a soul having a human experience. It is so important because as you start working with clients, like maybe you're working with some now, maybe it's just a dream and you want to be doing this, this will separate you from all of the other coaches who aren't doing this, all right? I want you to do this for yourself because you're going to be able to make it. I want to help you create sustainable results in your business and in your life, all right? So let's do a brief centering and then we'll dive right into the content. I want to make sure if you are here live that you have the opportunity to ask any questions, share any thoughts. Then of course, if you're listening to this replay, and you have any questions that I don't cover, you are welcome to reach out to the team, support@jennypfennig.com. I often will answer those questions directly, or you'll get an answer from someone on my team related to what I shared or related to the coach training school that we are currently enrolling for. And I'll tell you more information about that during our time together today. It may call out to you if you're looking for a structured training, a real school, a certification program to help you get your dream off the ground or allow you to take it to that next level. All right, so let us close our eyes. I'm also a certified yoga teacher, so that was my first step on my reinvention journey when I was transitioning out of my six-figure corporate life, was to dive into yoga head first. And I got certified as a yoga teacher. I did my 200-hour certification back in 2007 in New York City. And I'm so grateful to be with you today, right now, and bringing out these tools that I first discovered in yoga, in the training, and I still continue to use them with my people today, although I'm not classically teaching yoga. I am really, but I just do it in my own unique way. So deep inhale and exhale. Take an inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. I invite you to bring the awareness to your breath, going in and coming out. Inhaling, exhaling. And as you inhale, imagine the word let. And on your exhale, go. Repeating that mantra to yourself, let go, on each inhale and each exhale. Let go. Let go. All of your energy and attention is brought to the breath and to this mantra and this feeling and this intention of let go. Letting go, surrendering, trusting, walking out on faith. That you are exactly where you are supposed to be. That you are saying yes to your divine assignment and to your mission on this planet. I invite you now to imagine a group of people. A group of people seated wherever you are. It can be your magical place. These are your people. These are your people in your tribe. I invite you to imagine them now, whether you be at the top of a mountain, in a beautiful retreat center overlooking the ocean. Perhaps it's a grand ballroom. It's an exquisite resort where you have brought your people there to coach them, to teach them, to guide them, to inspire them, to motivate them, to remind them of all that is possible. Breathe into this scene, this beauty, this opportunity to help your people, your tribe, break through blocks, rise above challenges, slay their dragons. You are their leader. They're looking for you right now. They're looking for you right now. And as you see this scene where you have found them and they have found you and you have assembled and they're excited and they're scared and they're excited and they're scared, all these feelings running through their veins, running through their, just every cell of their body. You feel with every piece of yourself alive, proud, engaged, like you are living your legacy in the world. You are living your legend, and that is an ode to a wonderful, wonderful man named Scott Dinsmore, who passed away a little more than a week ago. Take in the scene, drink it up, take a mental snapshot of the scene, because this is the thing that you came here to do, and coaching is the path to make this real. Deep breath in, deep breath out. I invite you to slowly open your eyes, bringing yourself back into this space. Beautiful. All right. I'm excited to guide you through what I know to be true about coaching, and to really talk about how to shape what it is that you do. All right, are you ready? Are you ready for this? Either my live people or my replay people when you get this on the replay. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually, here, let me just move along here. I have a bit of a presentation for you. All right, and I want to, first just start out, for those of you who don't know me that well, this may be your first time you've ever listened to something of mine, or maybe you've been following me for a while, I want to give you a little bit of sense of who I am and this path that I'm on, and then talk to you about how to really ramp up this path that it seems like you are committing yourself to be on. All right, and I'm just super excited for you. The world does need more coaches. I promise you that. The world needs more leaders and teachers and guides. And, this path of coaching is so meaty and rich and powerful and liberating, but it can also be quite lonely and confusing if you aren't sure how to shape it. And kind of slice it and dice it so that it can be sustainable for you from an energetic perspective, and also sustainable from a financial perspective. There's just a lot of factors here, okay? As I mentioned a few moments ago, I have been on this road since, well, my whole life, right? My whole life, because this is the thing I came here to do. But I didn't always know this, all right? And I'd be curious, your story, like, when did you figure this out, or are you just kind of figuring it out now? Is it becoming clear to you? I spent 10 years in the corporate space in New York City, first as a public relations executive and then as a conference producer. And it was, exciting, and oh my gosh, and in my last job, I really started making some money, crossed that 6-figure mark. And it was such an interesting discovery for me, because when I wasn't making, a lot of money, I was in PR, I was making, but I started that career at $28K, and I left that career at making $60K a year. And I remember thinking, once I get to $100,000 a year, like, I will have no more worries. My life, I can just kind of like skip through it, and everything's going to be easy, and I won't have any problems anymore. Nothing will affect me. It'll all just kind of glide off my back, because I will have made $100,000, and that's just it. And then when I moved into that new career, I made $100,000. I made close to $200,000 a year in that last job, because I received a cut of profits for my events, and my events were very profitable. And guess what? All my problems were still there. I didn't have to worry about how I was paying my bills, or if I wanted to buy this purse or not buy this purse. Like, if I wanted to take a vacation, like, I could do all of that, and that was really cool. But the other stuff was still there. Relationship issues, problems like my mom and I have had a rough road. The grief over the death of my sister was still there. It was just, wow, the money doesn't take it all away. okay? And so what I realized was that making money when it's not attached to what my soul is here to do, that wasn't going to fly for me anymore, because I just really debunked a major myth, which was, oh, once I make this amount of money, like I'm good to go. And that wasn't true. So I had to really figure out, like, what the hell am I doing with my life? I had just turned 30, and I had this like wake up call, and I said, I've got to make a change. And I did. My husband and I went to Asia for a month, and I just started stripping away all these layers and labels that didn't fit me anymore. And I enrolled in a yoga teacher training course, and that changed my life. And it was towards the end of that where I got the courage up to quit my 6-figure job without a plan, without another job. I really didn't know what I was going to do next, and it was really scary. And if you've ever been in that situation, I totally get it. One of my clients is actually going through this now. She was recently laid off from her job, and she is just going through it. And she knows it's for the best, and the universe just has her back, but it's excruciatingly painful when you make a drastic change like that and you're trying to figure out, like, what do I do next? When you don't want to just go and, you know, get some easy job to like fill the gap. It's just like, no, when you really take a stand and say, the next thing I do is going to be totally in line with my purpose. So that's where I was. And lo and behold, I discovered a woman who was a coach as well as a yoga teacher. And that was it for me. I'm like, what is this coaching thing? I researched it. I felt like I had found my calling. I joined a training program, and it changed my life. Like the night before that training, I couldn't sleep. I'm like, what if I hate it? What if it sucks? What if everyone's weird? And I went that first morning, and I exhaled, because I knew that I was exactly where I was supposed to be. So there's been a lot of highs and lows on the journey. I then had to invest substantially in getting training around entrepreneurship and marketing and mindset and making offers and, you know, just building out the brand. You know, it's just been a wild journey. And I have 3 kids and a husband. So I'm not doing this, you know, 24/7. I have a life outside of my business. I adore my clients. I adore my tribe. I adore everything that my business has become, but it's changed shape a lot. And earlier this year, I birthed something that I'm so excited about. And it's why we're talking right now. And it is my own coach certification school. And our first group of students were like extraordinary. And I actually just certified my first ever Get Gutsy certified coach. It just happened this week. She's awesome. And she went through a major reinvention. Her name is Lacey, and she spent 26 years in healthcare leadership. And then, you know, things just changed, and she was looking for that next step and the next journey. And lo and behold, we found each other. So if you're looking for your next step and your next journey, coaching could in fact be that. It's going to be up to you to decide if you want to walk this path. It's not about, you know, the glitz and the glam and the fancy photo shoots and the whole like, woo, my life is perfect and I'm just flying around. Like, you really have to be willing to do this inner work for yourself, and then hold space for your clients to do the inner work. So, you know, that's something I really want you to think about. Are you willing to do that inner work? It's crucial. It's really, really crucial. And some people are, and, you know, some people aren't, and you're a good person either way. It's simply about saying, are you willing to go deep and go inward? Because you must be willing to do that so you can hold space for your clients to do the same. And the reason why this is so important is because we're looking for sustainable results, sustainable success. I have to tell you, it's once you figure out the steps, it's not that hard to, you know, like to achieve certain things, like to create a 6-figure business or have a #1 Amazon bestseller with your book. Like those things, they're kind of like a system, a set of steps. It may take you some time, but once you do it, you're like, actually, that wasn't that hard. The challenging piece is sustaining the results, because then you get there and you're like, whoa, what do I do now? I'm here, this is great. And some people sabotage themselves. Some people just don't have any gas left in the tank to keep it going. And this is a great opportunity as coaches to really shine a light on that, because you'll see a lot of successful people who lose themselves in the process. They lose their relationships. Their health goes to shit. Things just start happening. Things start imploding. And that's when we really have to say, like, what's going on the inside, okay? So let's move into this whole idea around shaping your sessions, okay? So, some of you, again, you may already be working with clients, or if you were like me when I was contemplating, moving into coaching, I was not working with clients. I had no idea how exactly it was going to look or feel like. I just knew that this was the road I was going to be on. So I want to talk to you now about this, how you move from prospect to client, and then we're going to talk about how to shape packages so that you aren't just trying to sell these relatively low-end one-off sessions that a lot of coaches in the world, they just do that, and that's very, very, very difficult to sustain. And I know many people who are in that camp and they just don't make it. It's just, and you have to know that more than 50% of businesses die in the first 5 years. And I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm saying that because I want you to realize how important this is. I'm teaching you, how to build that foundation on solid ground. Okay, so let's move in to I'm going to screen share with you right now. Okay, here we go. All right, start screen share. What does this ask me to do? Okay, present to everyone. Cool. Okay, so let's go right into the heart of what it is that you do with coaching. In order to make it as a coach, especially in those early days when you're newer to the scene, when you want to get cash flow in the door, and you want to coach because you love it. People who walk this path love it. They're doing it because they can't not do this. You discover that, oh my God, how amazing is it that I get to support your clients through major transition and transformation, and for some people, really challenging times or really exciting times. I shared this story about my client who's going through transition right now, and I feel very, very honored that I get to be there for her as she's going through this massive shift. So for you, I want you to imagine that you're doing it. You're stepping out as a coach, and the journey that you go on to move somebody from a prospect to a client. Okay, the prospect is like someone who has potential. They've expressed interest in working with you, okay? And that's awesome. And we want to move them to client category if it's a fit, okay? And that's like the key word I want to make sure you get, is that you're not going to be working with everybody. You're going to be working with those people who are truly a fit for you and rocking it with them, okay? And that's a skill that you develop over time. Take it from me, I've learned that the hard way. You can't help everybody. There's some people who are either uncoachable or who just are not a fit for you, okay? So what you do when you have that person who has expressed interest is that you can have like an introductory session with them, okay? It's sometimes called a discovery call or exploratory call or exploratory session, all right? And what I like to teach my students to do is, really have the stuff set up on the back end, because I want you to be creating a business and not just some crazy job that you're having to create everything in real time and it's stressing you out like nobody's business, okay? So you can have this all set up on the back end where you guide people to, some kind of page on your site. And don't worry if you don't have a website yet. There are such simple tools to help you create like super beautiful pages, like one pages. There's a tool called Lead Pages that we use a lot in my business. And you can have a simple page where somebody just clicks a button and maybe fills out, a very brief application just so you understand who it is before you get on the phone with them, so you can make the best use of your time. So what you do on that session is you assess the prospect's desires and energy, all right? So I shared that you're not going to be working with everybody. You're going to be working with those who are a right fit. So you're really holding space in that session. I don't like to call it a free coaching session. I know some people call it that, and I'm just not into that. That to me, it's like saying, oh, do you want a free massage, from a massage therapist. Like I would never expect that. If I want a massage from you, I'm going to go pay for a massage from you. So I don't see it as free coaching. I like to see it as like just what I said, a discovery or an exploratory session where you're on the phone. It can be anywhere from like 30 minutes to an hour, honestly, that first session. And it really depends. You'll have many people out there who will say, one time limit or one length of call is better than another. It depends on a lot of factors, how well you can get to the heart of the matter, kind of how prepped they are before they get on the call with you, like what kind of information they already have. Are they in a position to move forward? What the investment point is of the package or the offer that you're going to make them. So you'll kind of have to play with this and see what works best in your business. But, during that call, if you feel like it's a fit and you guys are really jiving and you're like super excited to be able to partner with this person as their coach, you could then make an invitation to become a client. You could do it right there on the phone. They could, you could lay out the offer, the package right there with them. I've had examples where the client has signed right there on the phone. I've gotten their credit card information right there on the phone. They are ready to go. They understand exactly what's included and they are ready to rock it. There's other ways where you could send them, a proposal or send them the link for them to review that, and then perhaps make another date to reconvene in a few days' time after they reviewed it. Again, you have to play with this to see how it works for your market, for your style. There's no one size fits all. I wanted to give you a sense of what to consider as you are building this out. Okay, so that is kind of, I won't even say it's step one. Prior to even you getting here, you've been building your tribe. You've been putting value out into the world. Remember when we did that visualization as we got started, your people need to know who you are. And so you are constantly just, you're posting on social media, you're going to be building your email list, you're going to be doing this stuff. And they're getting a sense of your energy. And let me tell you, you're going to be meeting prospects like everywhere you go. Don't freak out about the tech stuff, because I want to tell you that I didn't have a website for the first 18 months in my business. I had no website. Now, yes, this was back in 2008 when technology was not like it is today. However, I got my clients literally by word of mouth, friends of friends. I would be at my friend's birthday party and I would just be sharing what I was up to, and literally I would get clients that way. That is how it happens. It's not just because you've got the snazziest, sales page or opt-in page or sign-up page. I mean, that's one element to it, but it's really, really important that you are willing to get out from behind your computer and serve, okay? Get out there and serve, as well as, putting your energy out into the world through an email list, through social media, through speaking engagements, all that kind of stuff, okay? And remember that what we're doing is we're running a marathon, not a sprint. So this is going to take you time to develop, and that's awesome. That's totally, totally awesome. You've got to be willing to walk the journey and not desire to have it, done tomorrow, okay? It's just brick by brick by brick, step by step by step. So let's imagine that this client is like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm so ready to work with you. No question. I'm ready to share my credit card details with you. Let's do this thing. I've had this problem for so long and I'm ready to solve it. Okay, those are the kinds of clients you want. You want clients who know how to make decisions and who are just so thrilled to be working with you. So what you do at that point is you send them the agreement. You have some kind of agreement in writing. It's not just something that you talk about, over the phone and agree to like that. You want to have a written agreement. And this is important because, sometimes the coaching is not always easy, okay? Some people's, stuff comes out and they get scared because they often are hiring you because they're ready. They say they're ready to make change. But when it comes down to it, they get scared, you hit on something. So you want to have that agreement in place in case there's any misunderstanding, in case they flip out, they've paid in full and, halfway in, they fall off the face of the earth. Like, what do you do in those situations? So you just have everything, in writing, you've got that agreement there. And these are the types of things that we will share with the students in Get Gutsy Coach Training School, just some examples of agreements that you can review. And then of course, there are attorneys out there who can help you create all this stuff for yourself, but you want to have that agreement. And it's super easy now. Like, we'll use an online signing service called EchoSign for some of our agreements. And then with the way our checkout forms are online, we have an option where it's just, we can attach the agreement, and then, our clients can review that and just check a box that, they've read it, or by moving forward, they're agreeing to the terms. And you are used to that. Like, when you use Facebook, you're saying, yes, I agree to these terms. Okay. So just know that this is about you being like legitimate and taking it seriously. You'll collect payment details. You definitely want to be able to take credit cards. Some clients will want to send you checks. That's totally cool too. But there's simple ways to take credit cards now. There's like Stripe and Square and PayPal and, all these things. We use Authorize.net in my business as the gateway. And you just want to make it super simple for the client, okay? Because they're ready to move forward and you want to make it simple for them. And then from there, you're scheduling that first session, okay? And this is kind of the classic way to do it. Some of your packages may be shaped differently, but this would be like, let's say you are going to create like a 3-month coaching package or a 6-month coaching program. That first session could be, where you lay the groundwork, where you co-create that vision for the journey ahead. Often that session is a bit longer than the other sessions. And it is like that, like, let's do this thing session where you're asking them specific questions. You're really getting to the heart of this goal and this vision and the intention, so that you can help keep your client accountable during the time that you're working together. Okay, so I hope this is all making sense to you so far. And then from there, you have sessions to connect on these sessions, all right? Now, depending on how you want to shape your packages, you could have 1 session a week. If you were to have a 3-month package, you could have weekly sessions for 3 months. That is very much how I started my business way back when. We had weekly sessions, and the minimum time that someone could work with me was 3 months. And that was awesome. I did that for a very, very long time. And then I started shifting because I would put together programs with trainings and different support that was in addition to me. And so I started kind of shifting the number of sessions that were done with me because they were getting so much support from other methods. So just something to keep in mind as you're shaping yours. There's many ways to slice and dice this, but kind of when you're like a newer coach and you're really just getting things off the ground, having those regular sessions can be helpful. Maybe you do 3 sessions a month, maybe even 2 sessions a month. You may want to provide email access with your client. Some coaches I know offer text messaging access with their clients. This is all personal preference. There's no rules that you have to do or you can't do. It's simply knowing what's going to work for you and what your clients might desire. You really, you do want to consider, your boundaries around things. Like, if you would just, hate having to be on call 24/7, then you need to make that known. Like, let's imagine that you provide email and or text access to your clients. Make it known that, those will be responded to within a certain amount of time, and that, like, you don't check things between these hours. Just make that very, very clear. And that's something that you could include in the agreement that they sign off on when you first start working together, okay? Some coaches get themselves in trouble because they lose their boundaries. At first, it's really nice to be, needed so much by your clients, but you don't want this to evolve into caretaking and codependency. So be really mindful about that. Okay, the accountability piece is huge. That is where you are holding your client to task around the thing that they say they're going to work on. So let's imagine that they said they're going to, I'll give you an example this week. This is a real life example for me. You ready for it? I've got some major freaking projects going on right now, like huge. And what I'm building out is like, in addition to the stuff that I already was working on. I've got this this new creation that's coming out into the world. And this week I've got some pretty lofty to-dos to move it forward, to move it forward. So I am in a really interesting group where there's a few of us. It's kind of like a little mastermind group, and we're holding each other accountable for our timelines here and for our goals. And so that's an example of the accountability piece. I can't get away with me not doing it, being like, oh, I got too busy, oh, blah, blah, blah. Because usually it's just around fear of evolving, moving into that next space. So that's one of the best benefits you can offer your clients is that accountability piece. You can do that through checking in with them yourself, like, hey, I just want to see how you're doing on your XYZ. I'm here if you need me, any questions, whatever. Maybe they commit to sending you an email or a text or calling you with just like, hey, I did it, like whatever. You're going to shape this together based on how you design your work on that particular client and what you feel like they need in order to move forward, okay? So just know that accountability piece is one of the biggest benefits to coaching, okay? If you have like Facebook groups like I do, I have a lot of different courses and programs that I've developed over the years, and many of them come along with the Facebook group. And in that Facebook group, that's where a lot of the celebration occurs. Like I have a mastermind that I lead, and celebration happens there. It's like regular, but there's check-ins, and so that is the accountability piece. So another element that's really, really helpful in a coaching client relationship is to assign homework between sessions. This is how the work comes alive. I don't want you to think that, that it's just like on the coaching session where anything happens. That's not the case. It's what happens between the sessions. And this is important to know because as you're pricing your services and your packages, I don't want you to think like, oh, well, I'm only, giving them 4 sessions and, this a month, and, that's 45 minutes a session. And so, oh my God, who am I to charge, XXX for 3 hours of my time? Because that's not how it works. There's so much that goes into being a coach and running your business. And more importantly, your clients are going to experience the shifts that entire month. So it's like having you in their lives, like, you're their back pocket. One of my friends called herself a back pocket cheerleader. So however you think of yourself, like you are there helping them stretch and grow and do the thing that they want for the period of time that you're working together. So be willing to assign homework. And sometimes you just will have standard homework, like this is what I give to all my clients when we first get started. It's important that you understand your values, or it's important that you do a vision board, or it's important that you whatever. Sometimes the homework will just all of a sudden that you're in a session, you're like, oh my gosh, you know what you need to do? This would be perfect for you. I want you to like write down, 5 things that have been holding you back up to this point, and journal about what it is, what's at the root of those things. Or maybe there's something like, for instance, I assigned to some of my clients to go check out, as I mentioned during that visualization that we did earlier. There's a fantastic guy named Scott Dinsmore who created an amazing mission called Live Your Legend. And he passed away a little more than a week ago, living one of his dreams, which was to hike and climb Mount Kilimanjaro. And he died in this really freak accident, and it's, it was crushing to everyone who was touched by his work. And I was very, very touched by his work. I had the opportunity to hear him speak 2 summers ago. I was a speaker at an event, and so was he. And I just was so captivated by him. And so I assigned to my clients, I'm like, please go to his website. And so I'll assign this to you as homework as well. liveyourlegend.net is the name of his business, and it's still very much going to continue. I'm excited to see, some new leadership that steps in and just keeps that mission going. And his last blog post that he will ever write, because he's now, he's no longer in his body, I assigned that blog post for my clients to read because it was so profound, and I want them to really step into their divine message and their mission in an even deeper, greater way. So his last blog post, if you're gonna do this homework that I'm assigning right now, it's called I'm Going Off the Grid, which is like, oh my God, just, it's just like the name of it. And then to know that was his last blog post he was ever going to write. I'm going off the grid, and the subtitle was Therapy for an Addicted and Overconnected World. So read that blog post. It'll crack you open. It'll make you realize, like, oh my gosh, just this where we are in the world and the opportunities that we have as leaders, as teachers, as guides, as coaches, okay? So that's kind of that path. I wanted to just paint that picture for you, especially if you haven't really been doing this work yet. You've been thinking about it. You've been wanting to do it. You weren't quite sure how to do it. You see all these people on Facebook calling themselves coaches, which is, it's exciting. It's a very vibrant space. But I'll let you know that a lot of those coaches who call themselves coaches don't have any formal training as coaches, because it's not legally required to have formal training to call yourself a coach. This isn't an industry like being a lawyer or being a doctor, where you have to go through, law school or medical school and pass boards or pass the bar or any of that. Coaching isn't like that. I, in fact, did go through, official training. I got certified under the ICF, which is the governing body of coaching. And then, as I really was looking at what I wanted to be doing next with my work and seeing I saw a gap in the market and a big challenge in the market, which was, there are all these people who call themselves coaches, yet they don't really have the foundations of coaching. So I wasn't convinced that they could truly hold space for their clients when, shit hits the fan, and it will. And then there were all these people who were certified coaches who went through all that like straight up coach training, but they were horrible marketers and they didn't know about entrepreneurship. And so I saw this gap, and I have both of those elements fine-tuned because I've trained on both sides. And so I said, you know what, I've got to create something for this group of women who is ready to kind of step into this path with me, and not only train to become amazing, authentic, confident coaches, but know what it's going to take to actually have their coaching business be successful. All right. And that is you knowing how to market, you knowing about entrepreneurship, and you committing to building your tribe, fulfilling your mission, and spreading that message far and wide. That is what is going to be required. All right. So now I want to talk to you about who do you help? Okay, this is really juicy. I'm so glad that we're doing this. And whether you're watching live right now or you're going to be watching this via replay, I feel very honored that we get to do this together right now. This is a huge part of my calling and my work, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that we are together right now. So, I want to make sure I open the right thing here. Okay, cool. So I'm going to close this out. Okay, you should be... oh wait, I've got to, here it is. Make sure you can see this. I'm actually sharing with you a worksheet from one of my courses. I am like a course creation queen. I love creating courses. It's very, very exciting and fulfilling for me. So I want to talk to you now about who it is that you are serving. Who it is. Remember we did that assignment when the visualization when we first got going. And I asked you to kind of imagine this group of peeps standing around you, and you were, presenting to them and sharing with them and inspiring them and all that. So in order for you to really know like who those people are, is to get in touch with what's called an avatar. And your avatar is, a very clear, very detailed description of who it is that you help. So I encourage you to take some notes right now. Okay, take some notes about what you see on the screen, because this is like awesome. This is awesome that you know this stuff, okay? So here's a sample avatar description, and then you'll see below that like a little fill in the blank that you can do for yourself, okay? And for your own work. And then you can like tweak the fill in the blank because it's a little clunky. Once you complete that, you can make it more into your words, into your style, into your voice. So a sample avatar description could be something like this. Stephanie is a 33-year-old life and career coach and former advertising executive. She's internet savvy and very passionate about her work. She's interested in music, yoga, travel, adventure, and making the world a better place. She loves to spend her time writing, sailing, going to concerts, and eating out. She lives in a cozy, modern apartment in San Francisco with her husband and their dog. She works from home and goes to yoga 3 times a week at the studio in her neighborhood. She earns $100,000 a year. She loves to go on trips with her husband and dreams of starting a family very soon and wants to ensure her business easily integrates into her life as a working mom. Okay? So that's an example of an avatar description. You then could write your own. So as you see, there is this little like fill in the blank where you can write your own description. So the blanks, you see them right there on the screen. You can see them right there on the screen. Okay? And everyone who is watching this know that we will send this recording to you so you have it. You can go back and pause it right here and take ample notes around this. But essentially you are describing like who it is, how old they are, what they're interested in, what they like to do their free time, how they like to spend their free time, where they live, do they have a family, what does that look like, what's her income or his, what's their biggest fear, what do they really dream of, all of it. It's like you're developing a character as if you were writing a movie or writing a book, okay? And don't be scared to get really detailed about this because you have to. And also don't be afraid to leave people out and be, and say like, oh, I can't just talk to one person. Like you can really, kind of combine different energies into this one description. Okay, so what you want to do is think about you a few steps ago. You a few steps ago. Okay, that's often who your avatar is. Okay, it's you a few steps ago, not always. But I know for me, that has been the case. And for a lot of my clients and students and Get Gutsy Coach Training School, that has been the case for them. That their avatar is them before they figured out what they know now. So ask yourself if that is true for you as well. If so, you're speaking to like former you. If not, then you spend some time and just really getting a very clear view. And you can interview some people in your niche, in this world and like really understand who they are and what makes them tick. Okay, does that make sense? Awesome. Okay, let me see here where we are going next. Okay, so let me show you back. Okay, we're going to move on. I want you to understand about these sessions and the packages in particular now. So the key here is to create deep engagement. Create deep engagement. That is what we are doing. Send it to everyone. Okay. I want you to understand your job as a coach is to create sacred space for your client's transformation. Sacred space for your client's transformation. That's what you do. So, one-off sessions that some coaches try to sell, and they're typically like pretty low priced, those are not the best course of action for you to create that sacred space for transformation. It is much more impactful for all parties, typically, if you have an ongoing relationship. It's kind of the same analogy, if you were like dating somebody, like over time versus, it's like having a one-night stand versus like, hey, we're committing to each other for a period of time. And so there's a safeness in that. There's like, oh, we can let go, like we can really open up, and your client is going to, confide things in you that they might have not ever shared with anyone else in this way. So can you imagine that it's going to be so much more powerful if you are doing this over a period of time versus trying to just get everything into one session? And, some people do that because they're like, oh, well, I can sell that for a few $100s and blah, blah. But then you're always having to sell that stuff. And some clients have the best of intentions, like coming back to do more with you. But guess what? Life gets busy. You forget, gets off your radar. If you were to give someone the opportunity to be like, hey, I've got this great program for you where where we really join forces for 3 months or for 6 months or for 4 months, like kind of whatever. And you're going to get, we're going to have regular sessions. You can have email access to me. You also get this like half day, VIP experience where we really dive deep. There's all these different, ways for you to do it. But I just want you to be able to wrap your head around this idea that having that opportunity for an ongoing relationship is so much more powerful. It's so much more powerful. Okay. So I'm a big, big fan of packages. When I was first starting as a coach, like I said, the holy grail was to get a client who wanted to work together for at least 3 months and to work, and to have coaching sessions once a week. Okay. And way back when, that was the holy grail, and kind of my space, the thought was, okay, yeah, if you sell those, you can sell them for about $300 a month. And I quickly did the math on that, and I realized, like, oh my gosh, this is not going to work, because you have to remember, I was living in New York City. I had come out of a corporate job where I was earning, $175,000 a year during my last 2 years in that work, because my events became very profitable, very successful. And I had just become a mother by the time I graduated from coach training. So I couldn't work all the time. My income is important to our family. I like to joke, my husband he is a former attorney. He's not an attorney anymore. He followed his passion for his work. And so, he wasn't in a job that, just that the income just came in like huge amounts. Like some people in New York, like investment bankers and corporate attorneys and all of that. He's actually a television sports producer. He encouraged me to follow my passion because I saw how much he loved his work and that it brought him freedom and fulfillment. And I'm like, I'm doing that. Okay. So my income was super important, and I had to figure out, like, how do I slice and dice this? Because I know that this can work, but this model that we were taught, like, that's not going to work for me. It's just so not. So I developed different kinds of packages. I hosted my first ever retreat back in 2011, soon after I had my second baby. And that retreat, which could also be called like a workshop, that led to me launching like my first like mastermind program, which is a high-end, high-level like coaching program. And that's really when things started happening. 2012 was the first year that my business went past the 6-figure mark. After 2011, which was the business generated like $30,000, and there was hardly any money left over at the end of that year, which was really, really frustrating for me. I almost gave up. All right, so my lessons learned are like, okay, you have to really look at how you're shaping things, what you're pricing things at, who you're working with, like making sure your market is a market who is willing to invest in themselves through what you have to offer, okay? VIP days can be very, very powerful, and we go into one of our modules in Get Gutsy Coach Training School dives into VIP days. I launched those several years ago in my business, and I remember jumping up for joy going, oh my God, I can't even believe that there are people in my world, in my tribe who are like, investing, I can't remember, I priced it somewhere between like $1,000 and $1,500 for people to spend the day with me at my house, like in my living room. I kind of mapped out what we were going to do. and we had this extraordinary day together. And I remember thinking, like, I would do this in my sleep. I would do this even if I wasn't getting paid. That's when you know you're on the right track. But VIP days can be super powerful because you spend, like a few hours together or several hours together. You really get clarity and you have that focused energy on your client. They get so many amazing results, and you are able to then move into an ongoing relationship together, or like a follow-up coaching call or two. There are ways to kind of take what it is that you do and package it up in an elegant way that allows for that deep transformation. You see what I'm saying? And another element that you may be interested in are developing courses and programs, okay? I am like a course queen, as I mentioned. I love developing courses. I've developed so many in my business. Get Cutsy Coach Training School, which I'll tell you more about in a few moments, is a course. It is a coach certification course, but it is a course. There's training, there's coaching, there's an online group. It is 100% online, but we do have some optional in-person elements for those students who want to go deeper and meet with me and the other students face-to-face, which is always a good idea. So it's just a really extraordinary experience. And you may too want to develop a course within your business journey. I highly recommend it. It is very fulfilling. And a course is something you can sell over and over again, not just one time. So it's really a leveraged activity that is going to allow you to touch more lives with the work that you came here to do. Group programs, that's another deal where, they're similar to courses. They're kind of the same. And that's really where it's like a group coaching program. You have a certain number of people in there, and you're delivering an experience and providing coaching to a group and not just one-on-one. So those are things that you evolve into over time. You right now could be delivering workshops in your local community related to your topic, related to the thing that you came here to spread, okay? And that's very much how I started my business. I led my first workshop as soon as I graduated from Coach Training School. I did it with a colleague who I had also graduated with, and we had like 20 people to our first workshop. We were so excited. And some of those people in that room went on to become paying clients. They did. It happens, okay? You could offer to speak at your local library, or whatever your niche is. Maybe you have a chamber of commerce, or there is like a women's networking group that is looking for guest speakers. And so you're just putting yourself out there, again, coming from a place of service. That's what this is all about. Who can I help today? That is what you ask. And I want to say, like, all these other things are really fun and exciting, like the retreats and the courses and the programs. Super awesome. Love that stuff in my business. As a newer coach, know that the fastest path to cash and getting that experience that you need to truly be a masterful coach is private clients. It's private clients, okay? There's one-to-one clients where you have this package. Imagine that somebody signs up and it's, $2,000 or $5,000 or $10,000. Again, just depending on what it is that you do and who you serve. The sky is the limit. The galaxy is the limit, actually. You can go as far as you decide to go. It truly is up to you, okay? So if you're live and you have any questions, please feel free to send them over. If you're watching the replay and you have any questions related to something that I shared, please send us a note, support@jennyfennig.com. I'm happy to take a look and get back to you, because I'm here to help those new and aspiring coaches. I'm here to help you rock it, because it is such a juicy path, and we need more amazing coaches in this world. We truly, truly do. And if this is something that is calling out to you, then you can totally make this happen. So I want to take a moment now to thank you again for being here and for allowing me to share those insights on your coaching journey, how to go from prospect to client, how to think about your sessions and your packages and the different options around courses and, you know, all that stuff that I just dove into. And now I want to talk to you about an opportunity to come under my wing. I will take you under my wing and train you. I will literally train you, and you will have the option to get certified as a Get Gutsy certified coach in my school, Coach Training School. And the URL where you can find out more information on this is coachtrainingschool.com. This is where we are teaching the next generation of coaches to make a difference and a great living. This has been one of my proudest creations to date. I get so much pleasure from being able to help these women grow. It's truly extraordinary. It really, really is. And, you know, it's also a testament to listening to these nudges that you get about where you're being called to serve, okay? So if you are feeling a nudge now to serve, like to walk this coaching path, you know, if this is a nudge that you've been getting for years, in my case, I got the nudge, and, you know, that day I was researching coaching schools, and I signed up. Like, as soon as I found the one that called out to me, I was like, that's it, I'm doing it. I wasn't going to overthink it. I wasn't going to talk myself out of it. I trusted the nudge. I trusted that inner voice, that inner wisdom. And that's what I'm inviting you to do as well, is to trust that. You know, if you really do have this calling to help people and to allow them to break through those blocks, and you want solid training, a really solid curriculum, and you want to be trained by me, someone who's been on this path, like legitimately on this path since 2008. And I'm still doing it. You know, I coach, I'm actively coaching. I don't just talk about coaching, I do it, and I love it. And I have clients all over the world. Like, one of my clients who I adore lives in New Zealand. I'm in the Berkshires of Western Massachusetts. I mean, it's freaking awesome. So wherever you live, whatever you've done up to this point, just know coaching can be extraordinary for you. Okay, so I invite you to check out coachtrainingschool.com. I'm gonna give you a quick tour of the page so I can hit on some key elements for you. And then you can make a decision on whether or not you'd like to apply for Coach Training School. We do fill the slots by application. We have some amazing students on board. I just adore these gals already. Some of these gals I've known for a while, they've been in different courses. One of our newest students, actually, I trained to become a yoga teacher with her. And she just signed up a few days ago. I remember seeing her application come in. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that she followed my work. And she had been. So that's like a good thing for you to know as you step out and do your work, whether it's coaching, whether you're joining Coach Training School, or whether it's something else. There are people who are watching what you're doing all the time, and you have no idea, because sometimes they don't tell you. You're going to have those vocal people who comment on all your posts, and they show up, they get the perfect attendance award on all your stuff. And then you will have those, I call them the sleepers, and all of a sudden they sign up and they become your biggest client. You're like, I didn't even know you were watching. What? So it's so funny. It is so funny. I want to let you know that our next class starts on October 1st. Okay. So that's coming up. That's coming up next week. And right, it's like a week from today, we are kicking this baby off. So your life can change very, very quickly. And it's really your opportunity to step into your highest calling as you share your gifts with clients you adore. You are going to be working with clients while you're still in training, okay? So we're just gonna get you out there. We're gonna, push you out of the nest lovingly and say you're going to be doing this. And we'll actually pair you up, if you desire, with someone in the course that you can coach, and someone else that you can be coached by. And so you're going to be getting that experience from the get-go. You are going to learn how to earn a great living from me. I'm an award-winning entrepreneur, best-selling author, and someone who is running a coaching and training business. It is 100% online, so I don't care where you live. You can totally do this thing. All right, so As you cruise through the page, and I encourage you to do that, because there's a lot of important information here. You know, I go right to the heart of the matter about like my story and how things changed for me once I stepped into the coaching path, and you know what I've done and how it's taken shape and all of that goodness. You'll see, just gonna cruise down, lots of pictures for you, lots of story. I love to write, so I tend to have a good amount of writing on my page because I really want us to have this conversation on the page, okay? And you'll also see some stories from clients who have been through Get Gutsy Coach Training School. The gal that I mentioned earlier, this is Lacey Florentino Consolini. She has become my first Get Gutsy certified coach. She went through the process after she graduated, and these gals graduated back in July. There is a process that you can take to actually get your certification. It's designed to make sure that you've learned the skills, that you've shown up, and you've like really gone through it with your best, with your best effort. I want you to pass. I want you to get out there and do it. But there are just checks and balances in place to make sure that you've done the work throughout the course. So you'll take a written exam, and then you will also submit your coaching hours. So I want to make sure that you're actually coaching. You have that experience there. And then that's kind of the final step is that you will coach me. You will coach me. So Lacey just did this week. I am so proud of her. She just is extraordinary. She recently left a very, very long career in healthcare leadership, and she discovered my book in her local bookstore, which just is like, it's our local bookstore. We live close to each other, but we never knew each other. And she found my book in her bookstore and like read it. And she sent a note to us around the time that I was enrolling for our inaugural class of students earlier this year. And I'm like, this girl needs to be in Coach Training School. And she agreed. So she joined, and she has become my first Get Gutsy certified coach. So you can read Lacey's story there. You can read Christina's story. You can read Michelle's story and Julia's story. There's so many fantastic stories to read and absorb and get inspired by as you contemplate this next important move on your journey, okay? And I acknowledge what an important move it truly, truly is. So I want you to be clear on what type of leaders this school is appropriate for. If you're looking for cutting edge coach training curriculum, if you want to become well-trained and masterful credentialed coaches, if you want to, if you're like in an internal coach at an organization and you're responsible for developing a strong coaching culture within your company, this could be great for you. If you want to blend this approach with other philosophies, awesome. Maybe you're a massage therapist. Like one of my past students, Michelle Julian, she's been a massage therapist for 17 years. And this was like her perfect next step. Okay, so get creative, like really be willing to expand as you think about what your next level is. Okay, maybe it's coaching, maybe it's not, but you know, my job as a coach is to plant seeds for you so that you don't stay stuck in something that's just not fulfilling you anymore. It's not working. Okay, maybe you are a psychotherapist, a social worker, a yoga teacher, a financial advisor, a web designer. Coaching can be layered into your work really, really beautifully. All right. So I also want you to read that who it's not for. Okay, because I take that really seriously in terms of the types of people we allow into the group. It's a very sacred space. It's all about love and respect and moving higher and, you know, getting there together. Okay. I want you to understand the curriculum as well, because the curriculum is so solid. I'm like freaking pumped about this. I loved creating this for my people. So golden key number 1 is the coach's path, which is your sacred calling and opportunity. Okay, this is about the inner work. So, so crucial. Golden key number 2 is skills and tools every transformational coach must master. And we spend the bulk of our training time on that. Okay, and we're looking at, you know, how you can help your clients redefine the relationship with their inner critic, how to ask empowering questions because you don't have to have all the answers. Okay, you can take yourself off the hook right now. How to use all these different skills like acknowledging and validating and moving through blocks and planting seeds and listening and reframing. Okay, how to handle nightmare clients, how to steer clear of victim and vampire energy, how to use tools in my book, Get Gutsy, that could be really helpful for your clients, okay? And of course, boundaries, policies, and procedures, which you totally, totally need. And the final golden key number 3, is how to make a great living as a coach, marketer, and entrepreneur. So this is really where it's at. You've got to understand this piece like big time. You must be attracting a tribe. You've got to be presenting yourself with confidence. Yet you can be honest about, like, if you're feeling scared, you're stepping out of your comfort zone, like that. That's very authentic, and it's quite magnetic for drawing people to you. You're going to work on telling your story and announcing your business to the world and coming up with a content creation schedule, because you want to be putting your information out there. Okay. And then how to lead powerful enrollment conversations, how to onboard clients, deciding if email coaching is worth it, your systems and technologies that you're going to need. You know, we really get in depth there. There's more stuff that I'm not even going to mention because you can read. I wanted to give you like the best curriculum in the business. Okay. So the way it's delivered is that you get these by audio and accompanying step-by-step worksheets. Super easy to implement into your life and integrate into your life. They come by email. We have this beautiful portal, a customer portal. You can log in there and you can get all the stuff, and you'll get 3 lessons each month with an integration week built in. So you can take a pause, not get overwhelmed, and just kind of like, whoo, take a breather and just see where you are. All right. Now remember, the course begins on October 1st. It lasts for 4 months. So I want you to imagine, you know, January of 2016, and like, what are you going to be doing? How are you going to be feeling? What are you going to be working on? How are you going to be showing up in the world? This is your opportunity to truly make a change so you can kick off 2016 like better than you've ever been. We are going to have group Q&A calls and coaching demos. So throughout the course, we will gather for those calls. You will come, you will get coached, you will, I will listen to you all coach each other, and I will give you feedback. And those calls are super amazing. And we're going to give you a ton of work samples and resources and tip sheets so that you have all this stuff in your little toolbox, and you can build your business in a way that feels really amazing to you. All right. All the connection will take place on our private forum, which is on Facebook. And our alums are also going to be in that private connection forum, so you'll get a chance to get to know them. And then when you become an alum, you can hang out in that forum too, and you all can support each other and just watch what each one of you is doing in the world. Okay. And as I mentioned, you do have an opportunity to become a Get Gutsy certified coach if you desire. Okay, it is optional. It's not automatic or guaranteed. I talked to you about what goes into that, but you know, we aim to certify you. We're not looking for you to fail, but we do have those checks and balances in place to ensure that, you know, everyone who gets that Get Gutsy certified coach stamp, she's in integrity, and she's going to represent what that is in a beautiful, beautiful way. All right. So you will get a badge for your website. You can become a part of my referral network, and you'll be considered for visibility opportunities within my community to further hone your skills. We've got several bonuses that we are giving to you. One of the bonuses is membership into Get Gutsy University, which contains like about 80% of the courses that I've developed over the last several years. You can see what those courses are on our page. That's huge value. You also get another community online through Facebook, through Get Gutsy University, which that's my big project that I'm working on that I mentioned earlier in the call. So that's going to just evolve into something totally spectacular with women from around the world coming in, supporting each other, and really rising up as you do this beautiful sacred work that you came here to do. So you will get membership into Get Gutsy University. You also get a ticket to my event, which is happening next month, October 19th through the 21st. You're welcome to come. You get a free ticket. It's called Alchemy Live. It is here in the magical Berkshires of Massachusetts. We're at a beautiful resort. We have such amazing women coming to that event. I'd love to see you there. Again, it's not required that you come, but you do have this free ticket, and it would be such a powerful way for you to get this training started. A number of our current students from our October class are coming. They've already signed up. So if you want to meet them in person, please consider coming to Alchemy Live. And then next year in 2016, I will be hosting a one-day live coaching masterclass. I did this a few months ago with my last class, and it was so amazing to be with them. This is where we will get together. You're going to fine-tune your skills. You're going to ensure you feel confident using the tools available to you, and you're going to ask, like boatloads of questions and bond even further with the women who you've gone through this journey with. Okay, and we still do have a few of these bonuses left. A private 60-minute call with me, message marketing and systems call. So if you apply and get in to that bucket where you qualify for this bonus, then you and I will get on the phone and I will coach you to help you map out your message, your marketing approach, and your systems so that you really have like a vision and a map and a plan to get your work out into the world in a bigger way. Okay, so more kind of testimonials you can look at. Lots of FAQs. I'm sure you have questions. They probably are answered here in the questions you may have section, okay? And we have a guarantee. We know you're going to love this. And if you attend the first 4 weeks of the training and you don't feel like it's completely rocked your world, you send us a note along with all of your completed assignments to show that you showed up and you were doing it, and we will refund 100% of your investment, okay? So we stand behind that. We know this course is amazing. We know that you're gonna get huge value from it, and we know that when you do the work and believe in the process, you are going to see results. So as I said, this is an application. There is an application that's required for you to take that next step with us. You click the Apply Now button on this page and you're going to submit your $500 deposit. At that point, you will fill out a very brief questionnaire. We're not asking you to spend hours on this questionnaire. It will probably take you no more than 10 minutes. I simply want to get a feel for you and what draws you to coaching and why you want to be part of Get Gutsy Coach Training School. If you desire, you can request to have a private phone call with me to ask any questions not answered on this page, or just kind of have that time with me so that you're moving forward with ease and confidence. I totally understand if you desire that. Some gals just don't. They're like, I'm ready, let's just go. So whatever you need, we've got you covered. And then if you are accepted, if your application is accepted, we will get back to you within 3 business days. And if it's not accepted for any reason, then your deposit will be fully refunded. Okay, so the investment for this, you can read kind of all that upfront piece. I do want to say that securing 2 to 4 paying clients to invest in a coaching package with you will pay for this training, okay? And if you are really in this for the long haul, then 2 to 4 paying clients, it's no big deal. That's no big deal, all right? So I'm giving you a sacred coaching business in a box. You can see everything that's included. We just talked about it. So the investment is $4,997. For Get Gutsy Coach Training School. That's our pay in full option. We do also offer a payment plan. So that $500 deposit, and then starting 30 days later, you would start your first of 12 monthly payments of $424. Okay, so we've made this as simple and easy for you to take that next step. I do honor you. I understand what an important decision this is. So if you are considering this, if this is something that you're feeling super excited about, just know that I'm super excited at this opportunity to help you do the thing that you came onto this planet to do. All right, so if you have any questions about what I share, okay, if you're live and you have questions, you're welcome to type them in. If you were watching the recording and you read through all the stuff and you're like, okay, I just need to ask Jenny this or whatever, please reach out. We are here for you. You can get in touch with us, support@jennyfennig.com. That's the best email address. Or you can call us, 1-877-529-2098. All right? Woo! This has been amazing. All right, so listen, coaching is a gift to the world. You are a gift to the world. You must get your gift out into the world in a bigger way than you're doing now. okay? When you do that, amazing things are gonna happen. I mean, your world is gonna be rocked open. You're gonna be so psyched. You're gonna be getting notes. And I'm just gonna pull something out of my purse because I actually was at my mailbox today. Where is this little card? I got this bracelet today. Someone sent me this rose quartz bracelet. I was in a really cool like online event and I was one of the speakers and she was so grateful and that was so generous of her to send that. So generous. I just got this card from a client, a past client, and just a short note to thank you for being a part of my podcast. You empowered me to make it happen. So those are the kinds of things that you are going to receive in your life when you step into this path of coaching. It's extraordinary. It will crack you open. It will allow you will grow and tap into areas of yourself that you didn't even know like were there, but they're there and they're waiting for you. So I like to salute you right now and say thank you for your interest in coaching. Thank you for saying yes to this. If you're already coaching, like rock it out and keep doing your thing. If you're wanting to really get into this space, and even if you're already there, like a number of my students in this next class, like one went through a coach training and she's ready for what I've put together. And there's just so many different types of people who will be moving into this terrain, okay? So I salute you. CoachTrainingschool.com is where you can get more of that info and fill out an application if you so desire. And I look forward to continuing to support you on your amazing journey to greatness. This is Jenny Fenwick signing off. Get gutsy. Bye now. Bye.